Broadcasting live on Radio Row here in the Montreal Convention Center for Super Bowl week. I'm John Osterlind on Rush Radio 99.5 WRNO. You know, most of the people that they bring by here, I have no interest in talking to. There's one guy who I really wanted to talk to, and he doesn't have any reason to come over here and talk to us. But it's the great Frank Caliendo. Frank, thanks for taking a few minutes and talking to the people in New Orleans here.
Sure, yeah, it's pretty awesome. I'm still trying to figure out which street goes where and what. Nothing. Everything's labeled, but then it changes labels halfway through, and then the police are all kind of just, go. Nobody cares. Like, if we walked, like, I live in Arizona, if you get a ticket for half the stuff people are doing, the cops are like, go for it.
Yeah, and you notice that we're one of, I believe, only 2 or 3 cities in the country where you can walk around outside with an open container, which always adds to Super Bowl fun.
Right.
Frank Caliendo, you're one of the funniest guys that I've ever seen. I was just telling you the story off the air. When I lived in Miami, I heard you do the Dan Le Batard show a lot. I'm a fan of his as well. You did something on the show. I almost crashed my car. You did Al Pacino. You did John Madden, George W. Bush, all sitting in a diner eating breakfast.
And I don't remember any of it. I remember I was having eggs, man. And who else was there?
It was Al Pacino.
Oh, yeah. I think I still don't recall any of it.
Well, I remember Al Pacino was very fascinated with the video game Donkey Kong.
Oh, I love that. They're throwing barrels at you. That's the crazy thing.
Throwing barrels at you, Dan. You got to get the
barrels at you, Dan.
But the new one that people are talking about around here is John Gruden.
Yeah, because he's it all came from watching those quarterback camps with him, with Andrew Luck, going, tell me a little bit about Spider 3, why banana? What do you know about that, man? You mean to tell me you know more about Spider 2 and Spider 3 than I do? He makes up nicknames, and sometimes they don't make sense. He'll be like, they call that guy the milkman because he really delivers the bread. What?
Yeah, and I know he's a real players guy because he was a coach, and I know he always praises the players when he's calling the game. He'll say, that's one of the greatest thing I've seen in 10 years. And then the next play, the guy will get called for a 15-yard face mask, and he doesn't say anything.
Yeah, sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Almond Joy, man. Remember those commercials? Those were good ones back in the 80s, man. That's when I was flipping burgers or whatever it was I did, man. I love that Hooters commercial where he's just kind of staring there. I used to cook these things in the 80s, man.
Too bad we're on the radio because Caliendo's doing the John Gruden face right now, that Chucky face.
The eyes, man. They could pierce your soul. That's what I'm talking about.
Have you ever gotten along with John Madden? I know that he was upset because that's what was pretty much what made you a household name, you're Madden.
Yeah, or at least a garage name.
Basement.
Yeah. I met him at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. It was at the Four Seasons Hotel in Dallas. Not important to the story. I just want you to know where I stayed. And he's standing there, and Jimmy Johnson's standing next to him. And I'm like, Jimmy, can you believe I'm this close to John Madden? He's like, what? Yeah, met him. Taps Madden on the shoulder. Madden says, what does it do? Oh. And the look on his face was like when Shaggy and Scooby see the bad guy pop into the barrel. Like, Scooby, like, let's get out of here. Ruh-roh. So
he knew exactly who you were
because,
because I remember you would do some radio shows, and sometime in the beginning, some people actually thought they were listening to Madden, and they didn't say it's Frank Caliendo.
That was one of the things, and people would always, and then one of the things that I always heard, he'd say something like, he's saying ridiculous things, or people think it's me.
So when you're walking around Radio Row here, people are thinking that, he must be talking like Madden now. No, he's talking like Caliendo.
Yeah.
Well, Frank, we really appreciate you're on Twitter?
Yeah, at Frank Caliendo. If you can't spell Caliendo, the letter C, the word alien, the word do. So at Frank C. Alien do. And I check it all the time.
And you still play all over the country live, and obviously your impressions are a big part of your stuff.
Yeah, and dancing. Which is
Frank,
great.
it's a pleasure. We appreciate it. And continued success with ESPN and your gig. You're a really funny guy, and wish you the best of luck.
You're a really smart guy. Thank you.
It's Frank Caliendo here on Radio Row.